The glass shatters. Merrick Santoro doesn't remember dropping it. 1 second, he's holding whiskey he won't drink. The next, it's exploding against marble and everyone in Harbor Light is staring. At him. At the man who never flinches. His pulse hammers so hard he can feel it in his teeth. The room tilts. Carlo's hand clamps onto his elbow. "Boss, what the hell?" But Merrick can't hear him over the blood roaring in his ears, because someone is playing a song that shouldn't exist. Not here, not anywhere. The only recording sits in a vault 12 floors above this club, behind biometric locks and enough security to guard state secrets. The girl who wrote half of it has been dead for 12 years. He saw the warehouse burn, heard them pull charred bones from the wreckage, read her name on the coroner's list. So why is a stranger playing her melody? The notes slide through the Friday night crowd like smoke, delicate, aching, building toward something that makes his chest cavity feel too small for his lungs. His hand goes to his collar, fingers fumbling with the button. Can't breathe, can't move. "Boss?" Carlo's voice cuts through sharper now. "You need to sit down. Who is that?" Merrick's voice comes out strangled. He's pointing at the piano, at the woman whose fingers are dancing across keys like they're tracing a map only she can read. "New hire. Started last week. Get me her file, now." Carlo disappears. Smart man. Knows when not to ask questions. Merrick forces himself to breathe. 1, 2, 3. The way he learned in county lockup at 16 when panic attacks tried to drown him. He steps over broken glass, ignoring the bartender's concerned glance, and moves closer to the piano. Closer to the woman who's playing his ghost's song. She's not reading sheet music. Her eyes are half closed, head tilted like she's listening to something beyond the notes themselves. Natural hair pulled back in a simple bun. Black dress that's been hemmed wrong, threads visible at the ankle. Thrift store, he catalogs automatically. The kind of detail you notice when you've built an empire by paying attention. But it's her hands that stop his heart. The left one, ring finger. She wears no jewelry, but there's a thin white scar across the knuckle. The right wrist, just visible when her sleeve shifts. Another scar, crescent-shaped, precise. Familiar, no. The melody reaches its climax, that moment where major shifts to minor, where hope realizes it's been lying to itself. She plays it with the exact phrasing he remembers. The same tiny hesitation before the resolution. The same way she held the final note too long because she said endings should hurt. She. The girl from music camp. The one who laughed like rain on tin roofs. The one whose body the coroner said burned so completely they needed dental records to confirm identity. The one he spent 12 years mourning. Except the woman at the piano isn't a ghost. She's solid, real, breathing. And she just played a private song no one else should know. The final note fades. Scattered applause from tourists who don't understand what they just witnessed. The woman opens her eyes, gathers sheet music she didn't use, and checks her phone with the quick, nervous gesture of someone always calculating time. Then a child appears. Small boy, maybe 7, stumbling out from the direction of the kitchen with sleep in his eyes and a backpack dragging behind him. The woman's entire body language shifts. She crouches, cups his face, whispers something that makes him smile. Marek's stomach drops, the boy's eyes. Even from here, even in low club lighting, he can see them. Light brown, almost gold, with dark rings around the iris. His mother's eyes. His eyes. Carlo materializes with a manila folder. Seneca Cole, clean background, works at... Tell the manager I want her full-time. Every night she's available. We don't usually... Every night. The woman, Seneca, guides her son toward the back exit, one protective hand on his shoulder. She doesn't look back, doesn't notice the man standing frozen 15 feet away, doesn't know she just detonated a bomb in someone's carefully controlled world. Merrick watches them disappear through the service corridor. His hands are still shaking. Someone just walked back from the dead, and she brought his son with her. When ghosts come back, they don't announce themselves, they just start playing. Subscribe before he finds out the truth. Seneca's phone buzzes at 6:47 a.m. and she's already awake. She's been awake since 3, staring at the water stain on the ceiling that looks like a handprint, replaying last night frame by frame. The way that man's glass shattered. The way every head in the club turned. The way he looked at her like she'd just risen from a grave. He knows something. Her chest tightens. She forces herself upright, feet hitting cold linoleum, and goes through the morning routine on autopilot. Start Zion's nebulizer. Lay out his school clothes, make oatmeal with the brown sugar he'll only eat if she doesn't tell him it's healthy. Their apartment is small. 1 bedroom they share, a kitchen where the faucet drips no matter how many times maintenance fixes it. Windows that rattle when trucks pass. But it's theirs. Anonymous. Safe. Or it was. "Mama, you okay?" Zion's standing in the doorway, rubbing his eyes with one fist, dragging his stuffed dinosaur with the other. She plasters on a smile. "I'm perfect, baby. Come eat." He climbs onto the chair, feet swinging 6 inches above the floor. "Can we go back to the music place? The man with the suit was nice. He said I draw good." Seneca's hand freezes mid-stir. "What man?" "The one who bought me hot chocolate." "While you were playing." Her pulse spikes. "Zion, what did he look like?" "Tall, had fancy shoes. He asked if I liked music." Zion scoops oatmeal into his mouth. "I said yes 'cause you play all the time." The spoon clatters into the sink. She crouches in front of her son, hands on his small shoulders. "Did he ask you anything else? Your name? Where we live?" "Just if I liked music." Zion's smile fades. "Did I do something wrong?" "No, baby, no." She pulls him close, breathing him in, laundry detergent and sleep and innocence. "You didn't do anything wrong." But she did. She played that melody, the one she swore she'd buried with her old life, the one that apparently reached across 12 years and grabbed someone by the throat. By noon, she's convinced herself she's paranoid. The pediatric clinic is slammed. Flu season hitting hard, waiting room packed with crying toddlers and exhausted parents. Dr. Rashad pokes his head into the reception area. "Seneca, can you pull the Morrison file?" She's halfway to the filing cabinet when she sees it. Black sedan, parked across the street, tinted windows, engine running. Her hands go numb. It's been there since she arrived this morning. She noticed it when she parked her beat-up Honda 2 blocks away because the clinic lot was full. Didn't think much of it then, but it's still there. 3 hours later, just sitting. "Seneca?" She jumps. Dr. Rashad's frowning at her. "You all right? You look like you've seen a ghost." "Maybe I have." She hands him the file with shaking fingers, returns to her desk, pulls up the clinic's security camera feed on her computer, the one that faces the street. Zooms in on the sedan. Can't see through the tint, but she can see the license plate. She scribbles it down, shoves the paper in her pocket. The rest of the day drags like wet concrete. Every time someone walks through the door, her shoulders tense. Every time her phone buzzes, she expects bad news. At 4:30, she picks up Zion from after-school care. Holds his hand tighter than usual on the walk to the car. Checks the rearview mirror 6 times before pulling out. The sedan follows them for 3 blocks, then turns off. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe she's losing it. Maybe 12 years of hiding has finally made her see threats that don't exist. But when they get home and she parallel parks in front of their building, she notices something that makes her blood freeze. Different car, gray SUV, parked where there's usually a green Subaru that belongs to the couple in 3B. Someone sitting in the driver's seat, watching their front door. Seneca's hand finds Zion's. "Baby, we're going to walk very normally into the building. Don't run, don't look back. Can you do that for Mama?" He nods, suddenly serious. Smart kid. Knows when her voice shifts from mom to survival mode. They make it inside. She locks 3 deadbolts she installed herself. The landlord only gave them 1. Pulls Zion away from the window. Her phone buzzes, unknown number. She stares at it, thumb hovering over the screen. Every instinct screams don't answer. She answers. Silence on the other end, then breathing. Then a voice, smooth, controlled, expensive. "You played beautifully last night, Miss Cole." Her knees buckle. She catches herself against the counter. "Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., the manager expects you." The line goes dead. When they know your name, they know where you sleep. Comment if you'd run or stay. Seneca doesn't sleep. She sits in the dark with a kitchen knife in her lap and watches the street through a crack in the blinds. The gray SUV stays put until 2 a.m., then drives away. She waits another hour to be sure. By morning, she's made a decision. 1 more night to collect her pay, then she's done. She'll tell the manager her son's sick, she got another job, whatever lie keeps them safe. Except the manager finds her first. He's waiting at the clinic when she clocks in, leaning against her Honda, arms crossed, suit too expensive for a morning ambush in a medical plaza parking lot. Frank Delacroix, silver hair, politician smile, eyes like a loan shark's. "Miss Cole, do you have a moment?" Every muscle in her body coils. "I'm about to start my shift." "This won't take long." He gestures to his Mercedes parked 2 spots over. "Please." It's not a request. She glances at the clinic door. Dr. Rashad's inside, visible through the glass. Other staff arriving. Witnesses. If this man wanted to hurt her, he wouldn't do it here. Probably. She follows him to his car. He unlocks it but doesn't invite her inside. Just leans against the hood, casual, like they're discussing the weather. "The owner was very impressed with your performance." "I played piano, that's the job." "You played something unique." His smile doesn't reach his eyes. "He'd like you to be our permanent evening pianist. Monday through Friday, 8 to midnight. Triple your current rate." The number he names makes her vision blur. That's 4 months of clinic salary. That's moving to a building with actual security. That's Zion's asthma medications without having to choose between that and groceries. That's also a trap. "I appreciate the offer, but your son..." Frank's voice sharpens. "Zion, correct? 7 years old, attends Coastal Elementary, has an inhaler he needs twice daily." The world narrows to a pinpoint. Her hands in her pocket, fingers wrapped around her car keys, ready to drive them into his eye socket if he takes 1 step toward her. "Don't you dare..." "Relax, Miss Cole." He raises both hands, placating. "I'm simply illustrating that we've done our due diligence. You're clean, responsible. Exactly the kind of employee Harbor Light values." He pauses. "The kind we protect." Protect from what? The city can be dangerous for a single mother. His smile is all teeth now. Especially one who keeps unusual hours. Having friends in influential places, that's an asset. Translation: accept the job or find out what happens to people who refuse. She wants to spit in his face. Wants to tell him exactly where he can shove his blood money. But Zion's face flashes through her mind. His smile, his laugh, the way he holds her hand crossing the street. She can't protect him if she's dead. 1 month, she hears herself say. Then I'm done. Excellent. Frank extends his hand. She doesn't take it. He withdraws, unbothered. We'll see you tonight, 8 sharp. He slides into his Mercedes and drives away, leaving her standing in a parking lot with a decision that might destroy them both. Inside the clinic, she's barely functioning. Transfers calls to the wrong departments, types patient names incorrectly. Dr. Rashad pulls her aside at lunch. Seneca, if something's going on, if you need help, I'm fine. The lie tastes like copper. Just didn't sleep well. She picks up Zion at 3. He chatters about art class, about the frog dissection coming up in science, about wanting pizza for dinner. She nods, responds on autopilot, trying to calculate exit strategies. They could run. Pack tonight, drive to Atlanta, Jacksonville, anywhere that isn't Savannah. She has $2,000 in an envelope under the mattress. Enough for first month's rent somewhere, maybe. But her car's 10 years old and makes a grinding noise when she accelerates. They have no family, no friends who wouldn't ask questions she can't answer. And if these people found her once, Mama, you're not listening. She blinks. They're home, standing outside their building. Zion's staring up at her with those eyes, those gold-brown eyes that are too old for his face sometimes. Sorry, baby. What did you say? I said, can we get ice cream? The man with the suit said next time he sees me, he'll buy me ice cream too. Her blood turns to ice water. When did he say that? Yesterday, at the music place. Zion's smile is innocent, trusting. He was nice, Mama. Can we go back? She crouches down, eye level with her son, and lies through her teeth. We're going back tonight. Sometimes the only way out is through. Subscribe before she walks back into the lion's den. Merrick hasn't slept in 36 hours. His penthouse office looks like a crime scene. Surveillance photos scattered across the desk. Laptop screen frozen on frame 247 of last night's security footage. The woman's background check printed and annotated until the margins bleed red ink. Seneca Cole. He's said the name out loud 14 times, testing how it sounds, waiting for it to trigger recognition. It doesn't, but her face does. Her hands do. The way she tilts her head when she's thinking, like she's listening to music only she can hear. Exactly the way she used to. Carlo knocks once and enters without waiting. Boss, you need to see this. Unless someone's bleeding, I don't care. It's about the pianist. Merrick's head snaps up. Talk. Carlo drops another file on the desk, thicker this time. Ran deeper. Her employment history only goes back 11 years. Before that? Nothing. No school records, no credit history, no social media presence. She just appears. People don't just appear. Exactly. Carlo leans against the desk. Either she's in witness protection or she's running from something. Question is, what? Merrick's already pulling up the warehouse fire report from 12 years ago. He's read it so many times he's memorized the victim list, but he scans it again anyway. Jane Doe, number 2, female, late teens, estimated 5'6", deceased from smoke inhalation and third-degree burns. Dental records matched to Seneca Hayes, 19, enrolled at Savannah Arts Conservatory. Wait. Seneca Hayes. He reads it 3 times. The first name matches. The age matches. The conservatory, she'd told him that last week at camp, said she'd gotten a scholarship, would be starting in the fall. His hands start shaking. Boss, get me everything on the Jane Doe from the West Harbor fire. Dental records, autopsy photos, the forensics team's notes, everything. That case is 12 years old. Now, Carlo. By the time sunset bleeds into the river, Marek's gone through the file 6 times. The dental records don't match. They're close. Same number of fillings. similar alignment. But the imaging is grainy, rushed, processed during a week when the morgue was flooded with gang violence casualties. The forensic odontologist who signed off retired 8 years ago and moved to Montana. Convenient. His phone buzzes. Security feed notification. Pianist has arrived. He pulls up the live camera. There she is, emerging from a beat-up Honda, her son's hand in hers, both of them walking toward the employee entrance. She's wearing the same black dress. Still hasn't had it hemmed properly. He zooms in on her face. She looks terrified. Something twists in his chest. An emotion he hasn't let himself feel in over a decade. Protection. The instinct that got him nearly killed 6 times before he learned to bury it. His uncle's voice cuts through the silence like a blade. You planning to explain this obsession? Or should I just assume you've lost your mind? Merrick doesn't turn around. Ari Marconi has a key to the penthouse, one of 3 people who do. The old man moves like smoke when he wants to, silent despite his size. Just vetting new hires? Bullshit. Ari steps into view, wearing a gray suit that costs more than most cars. You've been watching this woman for 2 days straight. Carlos says you pulled her entire background. You ordered Frank to offer her full time. She's talented. She's a liability. Ari leans against the desk, too close. You're distracted. People notice when you're distracted. That makes them nervous. I'm fine. You dropped a glass in the middle of service because she played a song. Ari's voice drops to something dangerous. What song was it, nephew? Merrick's jaw tightens. Just a piece I recognized. From where? Music camp, long time ago. Ari studies him like a prosecutor examining a hostile witness. Then he smiles. The kind that precedes violence. The girl, the one from Asheville, the one who died. Merrick doesn't answer, doesn't need to. She's dead, Merrick, has been for 12 years. Whatever you think you heard, I didn't think anything. I know what I heard. Then the pianist learned it somewhere else. Happens. Musicians share melodies, steal them, recycle them. Ari straightens. You want my advice? Fire her. Tonight. Before this becomes a problem. She stays. Excuse me? Merrick finally looks at his uncle. She stays. This is my club, my call. For 3 seconds, neither man moves, then Ari laughs, short, bitter, disappointed. You're making a mistake, the kind that gets people killed. Noted. Fix this, Merrick, or I will. He leaves. The door clicks shut with the finality of a coffin. Midnight. The club empties. Merrick watches from his office as Seneca packs her sheet music, checks on her sleeping son, counts her cash tips twice. He opens the audio file from their music camp recital, the one he's kept for 12 years, the one he's never shared, plays it through his computer speakers, then pulls up tonight's security footage. Her performance, plays it simultaneously. The phrasing matches, note for note, timing for timing. The same tiny hesitation before the bridge. The same way she extends the final chord. Identical. Except for one thing. The emotion. 12 years ago, she played it like a promise. Tonight, she played it like a funeral. His phone buzzes. Security notification, pianist departing. He watches her walk to her car, one hand protective on her son's shoulder. She checks the parking lot 3 times before unlocking the door. Looks over her shoulder twice while buckling the kid in. She's scared. And Merrick, suddenly, desperately, needs to know why. When the dead start playing your memories, you don't stop watching. You hunt for answers. Zion hums in his sleep. Seneca hears it from the kitchen where she's sitting in the dark, surrounded by bills she can't pay, and decisions that might kill them. 3 a.m. The apartment's silent except for the drip of the faucet and her son's soft, unconscious melody. She recognizes it immediately. Low country lullaby. Her hands start shaking. She played that for him when he was in her belly, late at night, alone in a women's shelter outside Atlanta. Her fingers on a keyboard at the community center, trying to hold on to the one piece of her past that felt like hope instead of ash. After he was born, she'd hum it while he nursed, while she rocked him through colic, while she promised him they'd be okay even when she didn't believe it herself. She thought she'd stopped playing it years ago, but apparently her son's body remembered. The humming continues. Fragments of the melody, slightly off-key, innocent. He doesn't know what it means. Doesn't know it's a love letter his father wrote to a girl who was supposed to die. Doesn't know his mother still dreams about smoke and flames, and a boy with bruised knuckles who promised forever. Seneca puts her head in her hands and cries, silent, shaking, the kind of breakdown you have at 3 a.m. when no one's watching, the kind where you admit you've been running for 12 years and you're tired, so tired. By dawn, she's pulled herself together. Has to. Zion wakes at 6:30, needs his nebulizer treatment, needs breakfast, needs his mother to pretend the world isn't collapsing. Mama, can we have pancakes? Sure, baby. She makes them from a box mix, adds chocolate chips she's been saving for special occasions. Watches him eat, memorizing his face. The gap in his smile where a tooth fell out last week, the cowlick that never stays flat. Those eyes, those impossible gold-brown eyes. For a moment, just a flash, she's back in Asheville. Summer rain drumming on the music hall roof. A boy leaning against the piano, watching her play, saying you make it sound like it matters. It does matter, she'd told him. We matter. 3 weeks later, she believed she'd die in a warehouse fire meant for someone else. Mama, you're doing it again, she blinks. Doing what? The sad face, the one you do when you think I'm not looking. 7 years old and already too perceptive. She forces a smile. I'm not sad, baby, just thinking. About the music place? Yeah. Are we going back tonight? Every instinct screams no. Pack a bag, grab the cash, hit the highway before whoever owns that club decides she's more trouble than she's worth. But that voice on the phone yesterday, the manager expects you. It wasn't a request. Yeah, baby, we're going back. Harbor Light at night looks different when you know it's a cage. Seneca walks through the employee entrance at 7:45, Zion's hand in hers, and every nerve ending screams danger. The lighting's too perfect, the smile's too practiced, the way staff move around her, giving space, avoiding eye contact like she's contagious. Or marked, Frank's waiting near the piano. Miss Cole, punctual, I appreciate that. She doesn't respond, just sets her bag down, helps Zion settle in the back room with his homework and tablet. Mama, are you scared? The question catches her off guard. She crouches down, cups his face. Why would you think that? You keep checking the doors, like when we lived in the other place, and you said we had to be careful. The other place, the shelter. The 3 months they spent in a room with bars on the windows after she left Atlanta. I'm just being safe, baby, that's all. Can you be brave for Mama tonight? He nods, solemn. She kisses his forehead, breathes him in, and walks back to the piano. The club fills slowly. Friday night crowd louder than yesterday. She starts with something safe, something forgettable. Keeps her eyes on the keys, her focus narrow. Then she feels it. That weight, that pressure. Like someone's stare has physical mass. She glances up, he's there. The man from opening night. The one whose glass shattered, whose eyes looked like they'd seen a ghost. He's sitting at the bar, 20 feet away, wearing a different suit but the same expression. Hunting. Their eyes meet. And for one terrible, impossible second, she knows him. Knows the way he holds his shoulders, the specific angle of his jaw, the way he breathes like he's bracing for impact. No. She looks away, forces her hands to keep playing. But they're shaking now, missing notes, fumbling transitions. He doesn't move, just watches, waiting. Some faces don't need names to destroy you. Subscribe before their past collides. He's walking toward her. Seneca's fingers freeze mid-chord. The man from the bar, dark suit, predator's gait, eyes that haven't blinked in 30 seconds, is crossing the club floor like he owns every inch of it. Because he probably does. Her breath catches. Fight or flight kicks in, but there's nowhere to run. The piano's against the wall. Zion's in the back room. 20 feet of open space between her and the only exit. He stops 3 feet away. Close enough that she can smell his cologne, something expensive, cedar and smoke. Close enough to see the scar along his jawline, faded but deliberate. Knife work. You have a gift. His voice is smooth, controlled. Nothing like the chaos in his eyes. Where did you study? She forces her vocal cords to work. Here and there, mostly self-taught. Self-taught? He repeats it like he's testing the words for lies. You play like someone with formal training. Conservatory, maybe? Her pulse spikes. Community college, nothing special. Everything about your playing is special. He leans against the piano, casual, except his knuckles are white where they grip the edge. That melody you played opening night, where did you learn it? I don't remember. I play a lot of, you remember. Not a question, a statement. You played it from memory. No sheet music, perfect phrasing, like you've been playing it your whole life. She's trapped. He knows something, not everything, but enough to be dangerous. It's just a melody, probably heard it somewhere. Asheville. The word drops between them like a grenade. Ever been? Her heart stops. Don't react, don't flinch, don't give him anything. No, never been to North Carolina. His eyes narrow. He's searching her face, cataloging every micro-expression, every tell. She holds his stare, forces her breathing steady, prays her hands don't shake. Then a small voice shatters the tension. Mama, I finished my homework. Zion. He's running across the club floor, backpack bouncing, completely oblivious to the man who just turned to watch him approach. Seneca's out of her seat instantly, moving to intercept, but Zion's already skidding to a stop, right in front of the stranger. Oh, hi, you're the hot chocolate man. Marek, because that's who he must be, that's who owns this place, that's who's been hunting her, doesn't move. Just looks down at her son with an expression Seneca can't read. Then he crouches. Slowly. Gets down to Zion's eye level. That's right, I remember you. His voice gentles in a way that makes Seneca's chest tighten. What did you finish? Math and reading. I got all the problems right except one. But Mama says that's still good. Your Mama's right. Marek's staring at Zion's face like he's seeing something impossible. You're smart. I get it from my mama. She's really smart. She can play any song just by hearing it once. I know. His voice cracks slightly. I've heard her play. Seneca steps forward, hand on Zion's shoulder. Baby, go back to the room, now. But, now, Zion. Her son recognizes that tone, doesn't argue, just waves at Marek and runs back toward the employee area. The moment he's gone, Marek stands, and the look on his face, devastation, recognition, fury, tells her everything. He knows, maybe not the full truth, but enough. His eyes. Marek's voice is barely above a whisper. He has your eyes. He has his father's eyes. Where is his father? The question hangs between them like a blade. Seneca lifts her chin. Dead, car accident, 3 years ago. It's a rehearsed lie. She's told it so many times it almost feels true. Merrick stares at her for 5 full seconds. Then he leans in close enough that she can feel his breath against her ear. You're lying, and I'm going to find out why. He walks away, doesn't look back. Seneca's legs give out. She catches herself against the piano, knuckles white, breathing in gasps. He saw Zion's eyes, the same gold-brown that stares back at him from the mirror every morning. When a ghost recognizes itself in your child's face, running won't save you. Comment if you'd tell the truth or keep lying. Ari Marconi watches the security footage 3 times before he believes it. His nephew, the cold, calculating enforcer who once broke a man's hands for looking at him wrong, crouching in the middle of Harbor Light to talk to a 7-year-old boy. Smiling. Actually smiling. Then the way Marek looked at the woman afterward. Like she'd just stolen something he didn't know he'd lost. Boss? His lieutenant, Danny, stands in the doorway. You wanted the full workup on the pianist? Everything. Where she lives, where she shops, who she talks to. I want to know what she ate for breakfast. Danny hands over a tablet. Already done. Lives in Starland. Works at Coastal Pediatric. No criminal record, no known associates. The kid's enrolled at the elementary school 3 blocks from their apartment. She's clean. Nobody's clean. Ari scrolls through surveillance photos. The woman leaving her building, walking her son to school, buying groceries at the corner market. She appeared 11 years ago with no history before that. People don't just materialize. Maybe she changed her name. Abusive ex, witness protection. Or she's exactly what Merrick thinks she is. Ari closes the tablet, which makes her the most dangerous kind of liability. He pulls up another file. The warehouse fire. 12 years old. 3 casualties. One of them a music student from Asheville who'd been visiting Savannah for the summer. Seneca Hayes, 19. Cause of death. Smoke, inhalation, and severe burns. Except the body was never properly identified. The dental records were rushed. The forensics team was overwhelmed. And Merrick spent the next 6 months in a grief spiral that nearly got him killed twice. Ari had assumed his nephew learned his lesson. Don't mix business with civilians. Don't let emotions compromise operations. Don't fall in love with girls who can't survive your world. Apparently, he was wrong. Put a team on her. Rotating shifts. I want eyes on that apartment 24/7. You want us to approach her? Not yet. Ari stands, straightening his cufflinks. First, I want to know if she's an asset or a threat. Then I'll decide what to do with her. Danny hesitates. And if Merrick finds out? He already knows something's wrong with her story. He's just too compromised to see it clearly. Ari heads for the door. I'm doing him a favor. If she's who I think she is, keeping her alive this long was the mistake, not mine to repeat. That night, Seneca notices the car immediately. Different from yesterday's sedan, this one's a black SUV, windows tinted dark, parked in the loading zone across from her building where no one ever parks because it's a tow-away zone. But no tow truck comes. The SUV just sits there, engine off, watching. She hustles Zion inside, triple locks the door, pulls the blinds. Her phone's in her hand before she realizes she has no one to call. No police. They'll ask questions she can't answer. No friends. She doesn't have any. No family. They think she's dead. She's completely alone. Mama, why are you shaking? She looks down. Zion's staring up at her with those eyes. Those impossible, damning eyes that just signed their death warrant. I'm fine, baby. Just cold. It's not cold. Go brush your teeth. He goes. Smart kid. knows when to stop pushing. Seneca moves to the window, parts the blinds a half-inch. The SUV's still there. As she watches, another car pulls up behind it. Gray sedan. 2 men inside, faces obscured by shadows. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. Again. She answers with shaking hands. Ms. Cole. It's not the smooth voice from before. This one's older, rougher. Carries the weight of violence like cologne. I'm Ari Marconi. I believe you've met my nephew. Her blood turns to ice. I don't know who. Let me be clear. I don't care what sob story you've concocted or what game you're playing. But you've distracted my nephew, and distracted men make mistakes. Mistakes get people killed. I'm not playing anything. I just work there. You played a song that shouldn't exist. You have a child with my nephew's eyes. And you appeared in Savannah 11 years ago with no history, like a ghost crawling out of a grave. His voice drops to something lethal. So, either you're law enforcement, which means you're an enemy, or you're exactly who I think you are, which means you should have stayed dead. The line goes dead. Seneca slides down the wall, phone clattering to the floor. Outside, the SUV's headlights turn on, aimed directly at her window. When the real monster finds you, all your lies die first. Subscribe. It gets worse. The knock comes at 7 a.m. 3 sharp raps that make Seneca's coffee cup slip from her fingers. It shatters on the linoleum, the second glass she's broken in 3 days, and Zion jumps from his cereal. Stay here. She moves to the door, checks the peephole. Badge, Detective Shield. Pale guy, early 40s, tired eyes. Not Marconi's people. Worse. She opens the door with the chain still attached. Can I help you? Detective Rowan Huxley, Savannah PD. He holds up his badge, professional smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Sorry to bother you so early. I'm following up on an old case. Mind if I ask you a few questions? About what? The West Harbor warehouse fire, June 2013. Her heart stops. I don't know anything about that. You sure? Because you work at Harbor Light now. And Harbor Light is owned by a subsidiary that traces back to the Marconi Circle. Same organization connected to that fire. He tilts his head. Quite a coincidence. I play piano. I don't know anything about who owns what. Right, just a pianist. He pulls out a photo. Grainy, old, taken from a distance. This was pulled from security footage the night of the fire. Woman, late teens, entering the building 20 minutes before it went up. She matched the description of one of the victims. He shows her the photo. It's too blurry to make out features, but Seneca recognizes the jacket. Her jacket, the green thrift store windbreaker she wore that night. Dental records said she was Seneca Hayes, music student, but here's the thing. Huxley leans against the doorframe, casual. Those records were processed during a week when the morgue was flooded. Rushed job. And I've been wondering for 12 years if maybe, just maybe, they got it wrong. Seneca's fingernails dig into the doorframe. What do you want? The truth. He pockets the photo. Because if Seneca Hayes is alive, she's the only witness who can put Ari Marconi at that warehouse. The only one who can testify that it wasn't an accident, that it was murder. I'm not who you think I am. Your son. Huxley glances past her toward the kitchen where Zion's visible through the doorway. He's 7, right? Which means he was conceived roughly 8 months after the fire, around the time a dead girl would have been recovering from third-degree burns in some off-the-books clinic. Her vision tunnels. Get away from my door. I'm offering you a way out. Full immunity, witness protection, new identities for both of you. Clean slate, all you have to do is testify. Against who? Ari Marconi, Marek Santoro, the whole circle. He straightens. I know you're scared. I know they're watching you. But this is your only chance. Because if they figure out who you really are before we can protect you, the gray sedan from last night cruises past. Slow, deliberate. Both of them see it. Huxley's hand moves to his hip. Not threatening, just ready. That's them, isn't it? Seneca doesn't answer. You've got 48 hours to decide. He hands her a card, plain white, just a phone number. After that, I can't help you, and they won't let you keep running. He walks away, gets in his unmarked car, drives off. Seneca closes the door, slides the deadbolts, and realizes she's shaking so hard her teeth are chattering. Mama? Zion's standing in the kitchen doorway. Who was that man? Nobody, baby. Just someone who had the wrong address. But the card in her hand feels like a death sentence either way. Testify and destroy the father, Zion doesn't know he has. Stay silent and watch Ari Marconi erase them both. Sometimes the only choice is which monster gets to kill you. What would you do? The club is chaos when it happens. Friday night rush, bachelor party in the corner booth, tourist group demanding song requests, waitstaff moving double time to keep up. Seneca's been playing for 2 hours straight, fingers aching, Huxley's card burning a hole in her pocket. Oh, she's decided. Tomorrow morning she's calling him, taking the deal, getting Zion out before... Someone bumps the piano hard. Drunk guy, backwards cap, stumbling with a beer that's sloshing over the rim. The bottle tilts, amber liquid arcing through air in slow motion. Straight toward the keys. Seneca lunges to save the piano, hand shooting out. The bottle hits her wrist instead. Cold glass, hot liquid, the shock of impact. Her sleeve rides up, and Marek sees it. He's 15 feet away, mid-conversation with Carlo, when his entire body goes rigid. The world narrows to that 3-inch stretch of skin on her inner wrist. The crescent-shaped scar, white against brown, precise as a signature. Memory slams into him like a freight train. Asheville. Music hall. Metal music, stand collapsing. Her cry of pain, blood on white tile. Him pressing a towel to her wrist while they waited for the nurse, whispering apologies, kissing the bandage after. It'll scar, she'd said. Then I'll remember you forever, he'd answered. The glass in his hand shatters. The entire club goes silent. Every head turns. Conversations die mid-sentence. Seneca looks up, sees him staring, sees the recognition in his eyes. She knows he knows. She grabs her bag, abandons the piano mid-song. I'm not feeling well. Moves toward the back hallway, fast. Not running. That would draw more attention, but moving with purpose. Seneca. His voice stops her cold. He never uses her name, always Miss Cole, always formal, always distant. Until now. She keeps walking, makes it to the hallway, hears his footsteps behind her, measured, relentless, closing distance. He catches her at the service exit, doesn't touch her. Just stands there, blocking the door, 6 feet of controlled fury and devastating recognition. Where did you get that scar? Childhood accident. Don't lie to me. His voice is barely above a whisper, but it carries the weight of 12 years. I was there when it happened. July 15th. Asheville Music Intensive. You were moving a stand, it collapsed, the corner caught your wrist. I held your hand while they stitched it, 8 stitches. You didn't cry once. Her back hits the wall, no more room to retreat. You're confused, I've never been to... You said it looked like a moon, the scar. You said maybe it meant something, like the universe marking us. His hand comes up, not threatening, just reaching, stopping an inch from her face. I kissed it after they bandaged it, right here. His finger hovers over the exact spot. I promised I'd never let you get hurt again. Stop! Her voice breaks. Just stop. The melody, your hands, the way you tilt your head when you're concentrating. Zion's eyes. He's shaking now, his entire body vibrating with suppressed emotion. You didn't die, you disappeared, and I need to know why. Because you chose them. It explodes out of her. 12 years of grief and rage and survival. I heard the police report, Marconi Circle, connected to the fire. You told me you wanted out, that you'd leave that world, and then you tried to kill me. I didn't. His face goes white. Jesus Christ, I didn't know you were there. I tried to pull you out. Security dragged me back because the building was collapsing. I saw your body bag, Seneca. I identified your necklace at the morgue, the one I gave you. I left it behind when I ran. They pulled the wrong girl, and by the time I woke up, everyone thought I was dead. So I stayed dead. Tears are streaming now, hot and unstoppable. Because staying dead kept my son safe from you. The words hit him like bullets. Your son. His voice cracks. Our son. No, my son. You don't get. He has my eyes, my mother's smile. His birthday's in March, which means you were pregnant when he can't finish. Just slides down the wall until he's sitting, head in his hands, breathing like he's drowning. She should run, should grab Zion and disappear before Aerie finds them, before Huxley arrests them, before everything collapses. But she's frozen, watching this dangerous man break apart, watching the boy she loved realize he's been mourning his own son for 7 years. I can't do this. She's shaking. I can't. Footsteps. Multiple. Heavy. Carlo appears at the end of the hallway. Boss, your uncle's here. Says it's urgent. Merrick's on his feet instantly, that cold mask slamming back into place. But his eyes are still devastated. We're not finished. He looks at Seneca. Don't run. Please, just don't run. He walks away. Seneca collapses against the wall, sliding down until she's sitting where he was, touching the floor that's still warm from his body. The secret's out. And she has no idea if that will save them or destroy them. The truth doesn't set you free. It just changes which prison you're in. Stay for what comes next. Seneca doesn't go home. Can't. Her hands are shaking too hard to drive. Her lungs won't pull enough air. So she sits in her car in the Harbor Light parking lot, Zion asleep in the back seat with his jacket as a pillow, and watches her entire life collapse through the windshield. Across the lot, Marek's penthouse windows glow. Top floor. She can see his silhouette moving back and forth. Pacing. Her phone buzzes. Huxley's number. She silences it, buzzes again, different number. Ari's people, probably. Silences that too, third buzz. Text from unknown, we need to talk, tomorrow, just you and me. M. She stares at it until the screen goes dark. In the penthouse, Marek can't stop moving. He tried sitting, tried drinking, tried everything except the one thing his body demands. Breaking something, hurting someone, channeling this nuclear rage somewhere useful. Instead, he goes to the piano. The Steinway Grand he hasn't touched in 12 years sits in the corner of his study, covered with a dust cloth like a corpse. He rips it off, sits down, and his fingers find the keys like they never left. Low Country Lullaby, he plays it from memory, the version they created together. Every note exactly as they wrote it. Then he adds the secret bridge, the 4 bars only they knew. The improvisation they created the night before the recital, both of them giddy and exhausted and in love in that stupid, invincible way 19-year-olds fall in love. She played it the same way. Same timing, same phrasing, same tiny hesitation before the resolution. Because she wrote half of it. Because she's been alive this whole time. Because he has a son. His fingers slip, hitting a wrong note, then another. Then he's just pounding keys, discord and rage and grief pouring out until the melody is unrecognizable. He pulls up the security footage from tonight, rewinds to the moment her sleeve rode up, zooms in on the scar, crescent moon, just like she said. Then pulls up footage of Zion. Every moment the boy's been in harbor light. Catalogs his features like evidence, the eyes, gold brown, dark rings around the iris. His mother's eyes, his grandmother's eyes. The smile, slightly crooked, left side higher than right, exactly like the photo of his mother on his desk. The hands, long fingers, already showing signs of being double-jointed. Musician's hands. The way he tilts his head when he's thinking. The way he hums when he's nervous. That's my son. 7 years, 7 birthdays. First steps, first words, first day of school. All of it without him. Because she thought he tried to kill her. His phone rings. Carlo. He answers. Boss, your uncle wants a meeting. Tomorrow morning. Says it's about the pianist. Tell him I'm busy. He says it's not a request. Marek closes his eyes. Ari knows something. Probably has her full history by now. Probably already planning how to eliminate the liability. Tell him I'll be there. He hangs up. Pulls up Seneca's number. The one from her employment file. Sends one text. We need to talk. Tomorrow. Just you and me. M. No response. But through the window, he sees her car, still in the parking lot. Still sitting there with her son in the back seat. She hasn't run. Maybe that means something. Maybe that means she's still the girl who held his hand during thunderstorms and promised they'd always choose each other. Or maybe it means she's trapped. Either way, he's not letting her go again. Not to Ari, not to the police, not to a grave this time. He plays the melody one more time, gets it right. Lets the final note fade into silence. Then pulls up the security company's number. I need a full detail, starting tonight. Target is a woman and a 7-year-old boy. Nobody gets within 50 feet of them, nobody. Under whose authority? Mine. Bill it to my personal account. He hangs up, walks to the window. Her car's still there. He stays at the window all night, watching, making sure she doesn't disappear again. When the past refuses to stay buried, you don't get to choose the ending, only how you fight for it. Hit subscribe, the war's just starting. The club is empty when Seneca arrives. No tourists, no staff, no music. Just Marek standing by the piano, backlit by river light filtering through glass walls, looking like a man who hasn't slept in 3 days. Because he hasn't. She left Zion with the clinic's receptionist. The only person she trusts paid her $50 to watch him for 2 hours. Didn't tell her why, couldn't. Now she's here, alone, with the man who knows everything. You didn't run. His voice echoes in the empty space. Where would I go? She stops 10 feet away, safe distance. You have people watching my apartment, following me to work. I tried leaving this morning, got 2 blocks before a black SUV cut me off. That was mine, protection detail. From who? Your uncle or you? Both. He moves toward the piano, runs his hand along the edge. Play it again, the whole thing, including the bridge we wrote together. Marek. Play it. Not angry, desperate. I need to hear it from you, not a recording, not through security footage. From you. Her legs are shaking, but she sits, places her fingers on the keys. They feel foreign and familiar all at once. She plays. The opening phrase, delicate, questioning. The melody they built together on rainy afternoons when they should have been in theory class. The bridge that's theirs alone. the secret 4 bars that made them laugh because it sounded like rain on tin roofs. His words, her harmony, their promise. Halfway through, her voice cracks. I can't. Keep playing. He's right beside her now, standing close enough that she can feel the heat coming off him. The ending, the part where major shifts to minor. She finishes, the resolution that always hurts. Silence. Then, you told me it sounded like rain on tin roofs. July 23rd. We played it 17 times trying to get the timing right. You said endings should hurt because that's how you know they mattered. A tear hits the keys. She didn't realize she was crying. I thought you were, dead. His voice breaks completely. I saw the warehouse collapse. I heard them call your name in the ruins. They made me identify your necklace. The silver one I bought you at that festival. I held it in the police station and it still smelled like smoke and I wanted to die. Do you understand? I wanted to burn with you. But you didn't. She spins to face him. You went back to them. Ari, the circle, all of it. You chose that world. I stayed to keep them from hunting you. He's shouting now. My father said if I ran, they'd assume I stole something, betrayed someone. They'd come after everyone I'd ever cared about. So I stayed, I climbed, I made myself so powerful that no one could threaten what I loved. Except I was already gone. Except you were already gone. He slides down to the floor, back against the piano, and he looks 17 again. Broken. And for 12 years I've been building an empire to protect a ghost. She sits beside him, not touching, just close. I heard your name in the police report, Marconi Circle, connected to the fire. I woke up in a hospital room 3 days later and they told me Seneca Hayes died in that warehouse. The social worker said if certain people knew I'd survived, they'd finish the job. She's shaking. So I stayed dead, changed my name, changed cities, and then I realized I was pregnant. The words hang between them like a bomb. Marek's head snaps up. When? I found out in September, 8 weeks along. I was living in a shelter in Atlanta, working at a grocery store, trying to figure out how to keep us alive. Why didn't you come find you? The man connected to the fire that almost killed me? The man who went back to the mob? Her laugh is bitter. I was 19, broke and terrified, and I had to protect him from you. Him. Marek's voice is barely a whisper. Zion. Your son. Who has your eyes and your smile and your hands. Who hums that melody in his sleep because I played it when he was in my belly. Who asked me last week why he doesn't have a daddy when everyone else does. Marek makes a sound like he's been shot. I'm sorry. She's crying openly now. I'm so sorry you missed it. His first steps, his first words. The first time he played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on a toy keyboard and looked at me like he'd discovered magic. You should have been there, but I couldn't risk. I know. He reaches for her hand, slowly, gives her time to pull away. She doesn't. I would have done the same thing. His thumb traces her scar, the crescent moon. You protected him, from my world, from my uncle, from me. He looks at her with those gold-brown eyes. You're the bravest person I've ever met. I'm terrified. I know, but you're still here. His other hand comes up, cups her face. You came back. You could have disappeared again. Could have run last night, but you're here. Because I'm tired of running. The truth spills out. Because Detective Huxley offered witness protection and new identities, but that means you go to prison. Because your uncle's threatening to kill us if I don't disappear. Because I don't know how to keep Zion safe anymore. Let me. His forehead touches hers. Let me do what I should have done 12 years ago. Let me protect you both. How? Ari wants us dead. The police want me to testify. Your world will destroy him. Then I'll burn it down. Not a metaphor, a promise. The circle, Ari, all of it. I'll give Huxley everything he needs to dismantle them. I'll take the fall if I have to, but you and Zion will be safe. I swear it. Marek. Glass explodes. The front window shatters inward. Seneca screams. Marek throws his body over hers as gunfire erupts. Rapid, professional, multiple shooters. Down. He drags her behind the piano, pulls a gun from his ankle holster. Stay behind me. More gunfire. Wood splinters. Glass rains down. Marek returns fire. 3 shots, precise. Someone outside screams. Ari! She's shaking so hard her teeth chatter. Yeah, his jaw is set. He must have been listening. Cameras, bugs, something. He heard everything. Her phone buzzes. She pulls it out with shaking hands. Text from unknown. You have something I want. The boy for your life. Pier 7. 1 hour. Come alone or he dies. The world stops. Zion. She can't breathe. He has Zion. He knows where. The clinic. I left him with. Marek's already dialing. Carlo, tell me you have eyes on the boy. Silence on the other end. Then, boss, there's a situation. Pause what you're doing right now. Comment if you'd trade yourself for your child. Then hit subscribe, because this fight just became a war. Ari Marconi has been planning this for 72 hours, since the moment he watched security footage of his nephew crouching to talk to a 7-year-old boy, since he pulled the old warehouse fire file and realized the dead girl wasn't dead, since he understood Marek had been compromised by love 12 years ago and never recovered. Now he's standing on Pier 7, river water lapping against pylons, holding a phone with a direct line to the boy's location. Not here, that would be stupid. The kid's in a safe house across town. 3 of Ari's men watching him. The boy thinks it's a game. Someone from his mom's work picked him up early, said she had an emergency, promised ice cream. Children are easy to manipulate. Adults are harder, which is why Ari needed leverage. His phone rings. Marek. If you hurt him, relax, the boy's fine. Eating chicken nuggets, watching cartoons. Happy as can be. Ari lights a cigar, lets the smoke curl toward the stars. It's his mother I want. She's not part of this. She's exactly part of this. She's the reason you've been distracted. The reason you dropped a glass in the middle of service. The reason you're willing to burn down everything we've built. Ari's voice hardens. You told her you'd give Huxley evidence. Did you think I wouldn't hear? Silence. Every room in Harbor Light is wired, nephew. Have been for years. I know every secret whispered on my property. He takes another drag. So, here's what happens next. The woman comes to me, alone. I eliminate the problem. You stay as head of the circle, properly focused this time. The boy goes into state care. Far from Savannah, clean adoption, nice family. Everyone wins. I'll kill you myself. No, you won't. Because if I don't check in every 30 minutes, my men have orders to drop the boy in the river. He's 7. Can he swim? The line goes dead. Ari smiles. Marek will fall in line. He always does when pushed far enough. The real question is whether the woman will trade herself for her son. He suspects she will. Mothers are predictable that way. 20 minutes later, headlights appear at the pier entrance, but it's not 1 car, it's 5. Marek's at the front. Carlo beside him. Behind them, 3 SUVs full of soldiers, the ones loyal to Marek, not the circle. Ari's smile fades. Marek gets out. Gun visible in his waistband. Where's my son? Our agreement was, there is no agreement. Marek walks forward. You took my child, threatened his mother, turned my own security against me. He stops 10 feet away. That's not business, Uncle. That's war. You're outnumbered. My men control half this city. Not anymore. Carlo steps forward, holds up a phone. While you were planning this ambush, we were talking to your lieutenants. Showed them the wire transfers you've been hiding, the weapons deals you've been running without circle approval, the bodies you've buried without telling anyone. Ari's stomach drops. Turns out, Merrick continues, they don't appreciate being kept in the dark. Don't appreciate you risking federal attention on the whole operation just to prove a point about my personal life. He tilts his head. They voted, unanimous. You're out. You can't. It's already done. Your accounts are frozen. Your properties are seized. Your men have been reassigned. Marek pulls his gun. Now, tell me where my son is before I put a bullet between your eyes in front of all these witnesses. For the first time in 30 years, Ari Marconi feels fear. Industrial District, Old Textile Factory, 447 Whitaker Street, 3rd floor. The words tumble out. He's fine. I swear he's fine. This was just leverage. Leverage is business. You used my son. Marek raises the gun. That's personal. Marek, please. The shot echoes across the water. Ari drops. Not dead. Shoulder wound. Deliberate. Painful, but survivable. Marek crouches beside his uncle. You're going to call your men. Tell them to release the boy. Then you're going to disappear. Mexico, Canada, I don't care. But if I ever see you in Savannah again, I won't miss next time. Ari nods, wheezing, clutching his shoulder. Marek stands. Carlo, get him out of my sight. Two men drag Ari toward a waiting car. Marek's already running back to his SUV. Seneca's in the passenger seat, white-knuckled, silent. 447. Whitaker, 3rd floor. She's out of the car before he finishes the sentence. When someone threatens your child, you don't negotiate. You declare war. Subscribe if you'd pull the trigger too, because this isn't over. Zion is eating ice cream when they crash through the door. Chocolate chip, his favorite. The man with the scar on his neck said it was a special treat for being such a good boy. Then his mama bursts in like a hurricane, screaming his name, grabbing him so hard it hurts, checking his arms and face and hair like she's looking for broken pieces. Mama, you're squishing me. Are you okay? Did they hurt you? Baby, tell me. I'm fine. They gave me nuggets and let me watch Transformers. He pulls back, confused. Why are you crying? She's sobbing now, full body shaking. The kind of crying that scares him because his mama doesn't cry. Ever. Then the man in the dark suit appears, the hot chocolate man, and he's looking at Zion like he matters. Hey, buddy. The man crouches down. His voice is shaking too. Your mom was worried. We came to get you. Are you my mama's friend? The man glances at his mama. She's still holding Zion like he might vanish. Yeah, I'm her friend. Good, she needs more friends. Zion leans in, whispers loud enough everyone hears. She's lonely sometimes. I hear her crying at night. His mama makes a broken sound. The man's eyes get shiny. I won't let her be lonely anymore. Promise. Sirens wail outside. Multiple cars. Red and blue lights paint the walls. Marek. A woman's voice from the doorway. Not his mama. Someone new. They all turn. A man in a rumpled suit stands there. Badge on his belt. Gun holstered. Tired eyes that have seen too much. Detective Huxley. The hot chocolate man, Marek, stands slowly, positioning himself between the detective and Seneca. This is private property. This is a crime scene. Huxley steps inside. Got a call about gunshots, a kidnapping, and Ari Marconi bleeding out at Pier 7. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Self-defense. He took my son. Huxley's eyebrows raise. Your son. That's interesting. Because according to every record I have, Seneca Cole's son has no listed father. Seneca stands, Zion still clutched in her arms. What do you want? The same thing I wanted 3 days ago. Your testimony. Huxley pulls out his phone, shows surveillance photos. Aries men grabbing Zion, the shootout at Harbor Light. Merrick shooting his uncle. I've got enough here to arrest everyone in this room. Or, he pockets the phone, we make a deal. What kind of deal? You give me everything. Names, dates, operations, financial records, where the bodies are buried, literally and figuratively. I get convictions on the Marconi Circle's leadership. He looks at Merrick. Including you. No. Seneca's voice is steel. He protected us. He's a criminal, Miss Cole. Or should I say, Ms. Hayes. Huxley's smile is grim. Yeah, I know who you are. The girl who survived the warehouse fire. The witness everyone thought was dead. Merrick's jaw tightens. You've been investigating her this whole time. I've been investigating the circle for 12 years. She's just the key that finally unlocks it. Huxley looks at Seneca. You testify I put Airy and his crew away for life. You get full immunity, witness protection for you and the boy, clean slate. And Merrick. Depends on what he gives us. Cooperate fully, reduced sentence. Maybe 5 years, don't cooperate. Huxley shrugs. Life without parole. Zion tugs his mama's sleeve. Mama, what's happening? Why is everyone being scary? Seneca closes her eyes. When she opens them, they're full of something Merrick's never seen before. Decision. I'll testify, but I have conditions. The safe house smells like coffee and regret. 3 a.m. Federal agents outside. Recording equipment on the kitchen table. Huxley sitting across from Seneca with a notepad and a voice recorder. Marix in the next room with his lawyer. They haven't spoken since the factory. Zion's asleep upstairs. Doesn't know his life just changed forever. Start from the beginning, Huxley says. The night of the fire. Seneca's hands wrap around a mug she's not drinking from. June 18th, 2013. I was 19. Marek. Her voice catches. He told me he was leaving the circle. Said he had a plan to get out clean. Asked me to come to Savannah. Said he wanted me to see the place before we left together. What happened? I took a bus. Got there around 7 p.m. He was supposed to meet me at a coffee shop. But he texted. Said something came up. Meet him at the warehouse instead. Gave me an address. She's shaking. When I got there, the building was dark, empty. I thought maybe I had the wrong place. But you went inside. Yeah, stupid, I know. But I loved him, and I trusted. She stops, breathes. I got about 20 feet in when I heard voices, arguing. One of them was Ari. He was yelling about teaching someone a lesson, making an example. Huxley leans forward. Did you hear names? Rivera, someone from a rival crew. Ari said they needed to send a message. I tried to leave, but the front door was blocked. Then I smelled gasoline. In the next room, Merrick's listening through the wall. Every word is a knife. I found a side door, broken lock. Got it open right as the fire started. I ran, didn't look back. Got 3 blocks away when the explosion happened. Her voice drops to a whisper. I woke up 2 days later in the hospital. Wrong name bracelet. They thought I was someone else. When I saw the news, saw Mark at the scene, saw his last name was Marconi, I realized he'd lied about everything. Had he? I don't know. Tears now. I was 19 and terrified. The social worker said people connected to that fire were dying. Witnesses disappearing. I let them keep thinking Seneca Hayes died in that warehouse. Huxley writes something. When did you find out you were pregnant? September, 8 weeks along. I was in Atlanta by then, working at a grocery store, living in a shelter. She touches her stomach unconsciously. I knew the baby was his. There'd been no one else, ever. Merrick's forehead hits the wall, hard. I decided to keep him, to protect him from the world his father chose. I changed my last name legally, moved to Savannah 3 years ago because... She laughs bitterly. Because I miss the coast. Because I thought enough time had passed. Because I'm an idiot. Why'd you take the job at Harbor Light? Needed the money. Zion's medications are expensive. Didn't know it was connected to the circle until it was too late. She looks at Huxley. But I would have played anywhere if it paid. That's what being a single mother means. You swallow your fear and you survive. Huxley closes his notepad. That's enough for tonight. Get some rest. Tomorrow we prep your testimony. He leaves. Seneca sits alone in the kitchen, staring at cold coffee, wondering if she just destroyed the only man she's ever loved. The door opens. Marek. You should be with your lawyer. I needed to tell you something first. He sits across from her. Looks like he's aged 10 years in 3 hours. The night of the fire, I didn't know you were there. Ari texted from my phone. Gave you that address. It was a setup. Her head snaps up. What? He knew about you, about us. Thought you'd make me weak, distract me from the family business. So his voice breaks. He tried to kill you. Used my phone so you'd think I led you there. I found out 20 minutes too late. Drove there like a maniac. Got there right as the building collapsed. Why didn't you tell me? You were already dead, or so I thought. His hands are shaking. I spent 12 years hating myself for not protecting you. Building an empire so I'd be powerful enough that no one could hurt anyone I loved again. Except you were alive, and I didn't know, and our son... He can't finish. She reaches across the table, takes his hands. I'm sorry. For running. For hiding him from you. For not trusting. Don't apologize. You survived. You protected Zion. You did everything right. He squeezes her hands. I'm the one who's sorry. For being born into that family. For not leaving sooner. For every second you had to raise him alone. Marek! Gunfire explodes outside. They hit the floor. Marek's on top of her instantly, body as a shield. More gunfire, shouting, glass shattering. Ari's crew! Marek pulls his gun. They must have followed us from the factory. Zion, upstairs, protected. Huxley's got agents. The front door explodes inward. 3 men, masked, armed with rifles. Marek fires twice. 1 drops, the other 2 scatter. Get to Zion. He pushes her toward the stairs. Lock the door. Don't open it unless you hear my voice. I'm not leaving you. Go. She runs. Takes the stairs 3 at a time. Finds Zion awake, terrified, clutching his dinosaur. Mama. Under the bed. Now, don't make a sound. Downstairs, chaos, more gunfire, men shouting. Marek's voice, cold, professional, lethal. Seneca pulls out her phone, calls Huxley. They're here. Ari's men, we need... SWAT's 3 minutes out. Stay down. 3 minutes, a lifetime. She crawls under the bed with Zion, covers his ears, and prays to a God she stopped believing in years ago. Imagine protecting your child while bullets fly. That terror, that's what love costs. Hit subscribe because you need to know if they survive. Because stories like this, stories that make you feel, they're why we're all here. Don't let this be the chapter where you walk away. The gunfire stops. Seneca counts to 10. 20. 30 seconds of silence so complete she can hear Zion breathing. Then footsteps on the stairs. Heavy, slow. She holds her son tighter, hand over his mouth, praying it's Marek, praying it's the police, praying it's anyone but... Seneca. Marek's voice, rough. exhausted. It's over. You can come out. She crawls out first, leaves Zion under the bed until she's sure. Marek's standing in the doorway, blood on his shirt, not his. Gun lowered. Behind him, federal agents securing the house. They're gone, Ari's crew. 2 arrested, 1 dead, the rest ran. He looks at her. We're safe. Zion crawls out. Is the scary part over? Yeah, buddy. Marek crouches. It's over. But his eyes say different. His eyes say this is just beginning. Dawn breaks over Savannah 3 hours later. Seneca sits in a federal interrogation room with a recorder running and a prosecutor who looks like she hasn't slept in weeks. For the record, the prosecutor says, you're willing to testify against Ari Marconi and 17 members of the Marconi Circle regarding racketeering, murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy charges. Yes. And you understand this testimony will likely result in life sentences for most of them? Yes. Including potential charges against Marek Santoro? Seneca looks at Huxley. He nods. He's agreed to cooperate fully, Huxley says. Financial records, operational details, witness statements. In exchange for 5 years, federal minimum security. The prosecutor slides a paper across. He pleads guilty to obstruction, money laundering, and accessory after the fact. Serves his time, comes out clean. 5 years. Zion will be 12. Middle school, braces, first crush, without his father. Can I see him? Seneca's voice is small. Before he goes. They give them 10 minutes in a conference room. No cameras, just Huxley standing outside the door. Marek's lawyer left 20 minutes ago with a signed plea agreement. You're really doing this? Seneca can't stop crying. You're taking the deal. I have to. It's the only way you and Zion stay safe. With Ari's crew dismantled, there's no one left to threaten you. He reaches for her hand. 5 years. I can do 5 years if it means you're alive at the end. He'll forget you. He's 7. By the time you get out, then you'll remind him. Marek cups her face. Tell him about his father, not the criminal, not the mobster. Tell him about the boy who played piano at summer camp, who wanted to be a songwriter, who fell in love with a girl who made everything sound like it mattered. Marek, tell him I'm sorry. For missing his first 7 years, for the danger I brought, for not being what you both deserved. His voice cracks, but tell him I'm trying, that I'll spend every day of those 5 years becoming someone worthy of being his father. You're already worthy. Not yet, but I will be. The door opens. Federal marshals. It's time. Marek stands, kisses her forehead, whispers against her skin. Wait for me. Please, just wait. Always. They take him away. Hands cuffed behind his back. Orange jumpsuit, no more expensive suits. He looks back once, mouths, I love you. She mouths back, I know. 6 months later, Seneca performs at the Coastal Arts Center. Charity gala for burn victims. Sold-out crowd. Zion's in the front row, wearing a little suit he picked out himself. Behind him, 3 rows back, sits a man with tired eyes and a visitor badge from Coleman Federal Correctional. Marek got out for good behavior to attend. 4 hours, supervised, then back to minimum security. Seneca doesn't know he's here. Huxley pulled strings, kept it secret. She plays Low Country Lullaby for the first time in public since summer camp 12 years ago. The opening phrase, delicate, questioning. The melody built by 2 teenagers who thought love was enough. The bridge, their secret 4 bars, the part that sounds like rain on tin roofs and promises made under stars. The resolution, where major shifts to minor, where hope realizes it costs something. She plays it perfectly. When she finishes, the audience applauds. She stands, bows. Then she looks back, sees him. Her hands fly to her mouth. Tears streaming. He's crying too. Zion follows her gaze, turns, sees the man he's only known through weekly phone calls and carefully worded letters. "Daddy?" Marek nods, can't speak. Zion looks at his mama. "Can I?" "Go." He runs, full speed, crashes into Marek's arms. "Hi, buddy. You're real. I thought maybe you were pretend. I'm real, and I'm so sorry I've been gone." "Mama says you're learning to be better." "Yeah, I am. For you, for her." He looks at Seneca over their son's head. "Is it working?" She's walking toward them now, through the crowd, past the whispers and cameras. Stops in front of Marek. This man who destroyed his own empire to save her. Who's spending 5 years in prison so she can sleep safe. "Yeah," she whispers. "It's working." The marshals give them 5 minutes. 5 minutes to be a family. It's not enough. It'll never be enough. But it's a start. And sometimes that's all love needs. A melody unfinished, a promise kept. A chance to get it right this time. This is where I need you to understand something. Stories like this. Real, raw, honest. Stories that don't give you perfect endings but give you true ones. They only survive if you help them. So, I'm asking, if this story made you feel something, if you've read this far, if you want more stories that respect your intelligence and break your heart in the best way, hit subscribe. Not for me. For every other person scrolling right now who needs to know that love doesn't always look like the movies. That sometimes it looks like 5 years and weekly phone calls and a boy learning his father's name. Comment, "Waited," if you'd wait years for someone who chose you over everything. Because this isn't just a story anymore. It's proof that some things are worth fighting for. And I need you.